What's going on YouTube? It's your boy John B, and I'm coming back to you guys with a brand new haircut tutorial. And today I'm doing a mid bald fade comb over on my boy John. I've been cutting his hair for about, I want to say 7 years now. And first off, I'm gonna start by trimming the top. He comes every 2 to 3 weeks, so I'm taking off like a good enough length. And I already know how he wants to cut his hair, like how much to take off, just because I've been cutting his hair for so long. The funny thing with him is I was cutting his hair for like 5 years, and he's always gotten like a shadow fade, like a #1 guard on the sides. But just this past year or two, he tried a skin fade, and ever since he ain't never looked back. I just guess, like in my opinion, bald fades are better than shadow fades just because it'll last a little longer, and the contrast between skin and hair is a lot better looking. So first, I'm gonna take my Babyliss Fx trimmers and I'm gonna make my first guideline. I don't really recommend you guys making your first guidelines like this, like with the clippers face that way, just because it makes such a harsh line. But I do it anyway, just because I know I can take that bald line out. Then I'm gonna hit it with my Babyliss shaver, and I'm gonna go right below my first guideline, and I'm gonna tap that guideline to make it blend into the trimmer guideline. So in this fading technique, I'm gonna be doing this technique that I've been using for about 2 weeks now, and I like this technique because it'll keep the top contrast dark for your haircut and keep the bottom light, and it'll smoothly transition it into it. So I'm gonna go no guard, clipper all the way open for your first guideline, and go about 1 inch to 1/2 inch. Then I'm gonna close the clipper completely and open it real lightly and just bump out that bottom line. And you see me opening the clipper slowly as higher you go, just because you want to have like that smooth transition. And one key thing is to have short strokes. And one thing about my client that I'm using in this video, he does have dips in his head, so you're gonna see me take a little longer on that bald guideline, just because you have to use the corners to get that line out. Like you're gonna have to use a lot of your corners and different angles, especially on the bumps. And you see right here, like he has a big dip right there. Next, I'm gonna go with my #1 guard, and I'm gonna go with it closed first, and I'm gonna go up about 1/2 inch. And the key thing here is to not go up so high. Then I'm gonna slowly open it, and don't make another guideline when you're opening it. Just open it notch by notch, like a little by little, and go higher. Then I'm gonna use my clipper over comb just to get some of the bulk off. I'm using a white comb just because he has black hair, so it'll be easier to see. Then I'm gonna go with my #3 close and start blending downwards from there. So after my #3 guard, I'm going with a #2. I'm gonna start with a 2 guard open and then slightly close it the lower I go, and that should connect to the next guard, to the next guard of using the 1.5 right here. I'm using, and you see me already blending. I use my 1.5 and my 1/2 guards to usually blend those dark areas. So now I'm continuing, and I'm hitting it with the #1. Now that we're blending down, and we're gonna reach that 1/2 guard guideline, and we're gonna finish the blend with the 1/2 guard. So now that I'm using the 1/2 guard, this is where it gets kind of fun, but at the same time technical, because you do not want to go too high. And like I said, his head is pretty hard to cut, but you will see I do get it done, especially the other side, because the other side of his head is actually his good side. But you gotta try your best to make it even as possible. So I'm gonna be switching with guards, I'll be using number 1, the half guard and the no guard, just to get those dark spots out. And don't be afraid to like touch up work even though you went through all your steps, because that's just how barbering is. Like there's a lot of touch up work that you're gonna have to do if the steps that you do don't get all the lines out, but that's just how it is. So I'm gonna do the same steps on this side, but you're gonna see this side comes out way easier and cleaner just because this is good side and this is where his hair falls more naturally. Moving on to his lineup, I like to pin all the hair up and comb down his baby hairs just so I can get all those out the way. And you're gonna see I'm using my slim lines. These are my hitters, and I'm gonna go over with my Babyliss right after. And I do start from the middle and I work my way to the right and to the left just to make sure both sides are even. And I take my time with it. I don't really like press hard or try to rush through it, just because the trimmers are going to do everything for you as long as they're set right. And by that I mean like zero gap. I zero gap all my trimmers just because I need them to hit. So you can see that they are pretty, like, it's pretty sharp already. And then once you finish it off with the straight razor, it'll be all straight. So now moving on to the blow dryer. I'm using the Dyson blow dryer, and I usually have it on the first settings of the heat, just because these blow dryers do get pretty hot, and I don't think the second or third notch should be, it would be too much. I'll probably burn his scalp and everything. So the number one is pretty good. And you can see the haircut coming out after I finished blow drying. I didn't record me styling it just because I totally forgot to press record, but you guys get it. And after you're done styling, you're gonna see a lot of stray hairs popping out. So the key thing is to just touch it up. That's what I do. Like every time I style someone's hair, there will always be stray hairs coming out, and just touch it up and finish it off. Then I'm gonna go with the straight razor. Don't forget to pull the skin, and if you guys haven't yet, click the subscribe button and follow your boy. I'm trying to rejuvenate my YouTube channel and reach 20K, as I know it's a slow process, but we gotta get through it. So I'm still gonna do another video this week. I'm sticking to that schedule, 1 video a week. So if you haven't yet, follow my Instagram. I post daily videos and pictures of haircuts on there. And thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the final haircut, and thank you guys. It's your boy John B, and I'm out.